Hey, what's up? Well, I am making a video from the space room for a change. I don't know if you can see my Yoda plates on the wall, but I would like to make a video in the space room with the space bed. You see Yoda on the bed. And what I'd like to talk about in this video, see, the reason I'm able to be here in this room, you know, with my space things, instead of in that silly laundry room, you know, the reason I'm able to be here is because my dad has gone somewhere for a change, and I would like to celebrate. I might make this video come out December the 1st to celebrate, you know, with my earrings. I'm kind of in limbo between November and December, and I want to say that, let's see, yesterday was November 27th, and I named that day, of all things, Little Master Points Day. And I know that's a stupid title, you know, my parents have never heard it for that reason. They wouldn't understand, but it is the day when the username Little Master Points was born in 2006. And it's a long story as to what happened that day, but basically, well, let's see, 2006, that's what, 17 years ago. Oh my gosh, 17 freaking years ago. Someone who was born that day is now, what, a junior in high school, gonna be a senior next year. Oh my gosh. So, 17 years ago. And I would like to talk about in this video how, I wanted to do an unboxing, but unfortunately my package isn't in yet. But I want to title it, I want to discuss how things are not automatically special just because they're from my childhood, okay? And what do I mean by that is, well, obviously I'd be lying if I said that everything I own that is not age appropriate is from my childhood. In fact, if I only had the age inappropriate stuff that I actually had in my childhood, I would have almost none of it, like less than 1% probably of this silly stuff that I have in this room. You know, like the whole space themed bed and the full moon lamp. And that phone actually was from the old days, but it's not in use. But I just want to talk about how, things are not automatically more special, you know, because they are from the childhood that I actually had. Because you see, things like this are just as good and special and wonderful to me as the things I actually had when I was a kid. And if anything, you know, I may have even gotten rid of a lot of the things. Like, I don't even like to admit to myself just how much stuff from my actual childhood I got rid of in various ways, but could have and should have probably kept. Like, oh my gosh, if only I would never have gotten rid of anything from my childhood. I could have saved a lot of money. But, you know, I just want to talk about that, how, you know, the way I feel is that things are not more valuable because I owned them when I was a legal minor. You know, if that were the case, like, see, I've never understood that. Why, you know, people don't get things when they're a kid that they really want. They really wanted something, and for whatever reason, they didn't get it. But then they don't go out and buy it for their adult self because somehow or another it's less. It's somehow less than. And I've never understood that. I've never understood that mentality. You know, why, if you could have it as an adult and you wanted it as a child, why the hell would you not buy it? I've never understood that. I mean, to me, you're still the same person, you know, if not more of the same. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're more of the person that you used to be, not less. It's not like you're a totally different person, and now that you're not a kid, well, it's a toy and you're an adult, so you can't have it. And so, you know, I just want to talk about that, how, you know, if anything, like if I had to choose between, say, the first 100 dolls that I ever got, which of course would include a vast majority, like if I were to write down the first 100 dolls I ever acquired in my life, even of that 100 dolls, only a small percentage would be from the years when I was even a legal minor, okay? And even 4 of those would be from my teens, after I was not supposed to be playing with them anymore. You know, I caught hell for that. But like, you know, if I had to choose between, say, the first 100 dolls that I ever had in my life, or the last 100 that I've acquired, that would be a very difficult choice. It'd be very difficult. But I have a feeling that the last 100 would probably be the ones that I would go with if I had to pick, because they're more reflective of who I am today and what I want today. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I still value some of the first ones I ever got for various reasons, but the fact that they were my first does not increase their worth in my mind, is what I'm saying. You know, just because I got something like, say, in the actual 90s, like when the 90s were actually happening, as opposed to something retro that was made to look like what people had in the 90s. Well, to me, that does not in any way, shape, or form increase its worth or its value in my mind. If anything, it does just the opposite. If anything, it makes me want to get rid of it or get it out of my life. You know, I don't necessarily want to destroy it, but if I had a choice, like especially, you know, pertaining to my 7th grade year, that is completely unforgettable, that I wish I could forget. I mean, I wake up talking in my sleep saying, I want to forget. I want to forget. I want to forget. I want to freaking forget that I ever existed in the 7th grade, let alone, you know, the specific memories of everything that actually happened. I just wake up, you know, talking in my sleep, shouting out, I want to forget. And you know, it's a shame that's I'm more likely to forget more recent things that have happened than I am the 7th grade. But I mean, I have had perfectly good stuff. You know, I'm not going to sit here and actually list what it is, but I've had perfectly good stuff that I could have probably kept the whole rest of my life. But because, you know, it pertained to my junior high and high school years, which was, well, junior high was when I only ever got my Angelica doll. And I have actually toyed with the idea of getting rid of her or selling her. But the reason I don't do that is, of course, you know, because it would hurt so much, and because I would probably turn around and buy yet another one exactly like her. You know, I'd never be able to get that image out of my mind. You see, and that's what I found. It's like I have gotten rid of stuff. I have sold things, you know, both at a garage sale and on eBay, and I have given things away. But I'm still to this day haunted. See, that's what a memory does. I am still to this day haunted by the image of things that I let go of, and how I will never know. I'll never know. I'll never see the end of the things that I have let go of, you know, in an effort to forget the past when I never can. You know what I'm saying? It's like however much I want to is incapable of happening. You know, it's still there. It's like, no matter what I do, you know, it's like I may want to forget, you know, how embarrassing and how cringy, just how awful in so many ways my teens actually were. And then my teens were actually the better part of my childhood. You know what I'm saying? It's like my life, when I look back on it, I mean, yeah, I have my problems today. No life isn't perfect. It never will be. But by far, my life has generally improved over the course of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and not just in the way of less frequent colds, in the way of just everything. You know, I feel like my recent adulthood was better than my young adulthood, which was better than my adolescence or teen years, which was better than my middle childhood, which was better than my early childhood, and that's why it's a good thing I don't remember much of that. So, you know, it's just, as I've said before, you know, something is not, and it really makes me mad, you know, when my parents and my mom and all that expect me to treasure things more, you know, because they were my first, or they go all the way back to the 80s. Somehow that makes it more valuable. Well, it doesn't in my mind, okay? I am every bit as attached to the things that I have acquired within, say, the past year, or 5 years, or 10 years, if not more so, because I'm more likely to remember why I wanted them, you know? And the thing about, you know, what you get in childhood, I mean, yes, it could be something you wanted, you know, yes, it could be just exactly what you asked Santa Claus to bring you. But then on the other hand, it could also be something that you didn't really want all that much, or you were just kind of, how would you say, manipulated into wanting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people kind of try to teach you that that's what you should want, and therefore you did to an extent, but really only because other options were closed off to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a little girl, you know, you may have been very happy to receive, you know, something pink and glittery and feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like something very gender specific, you know, very, you know, stereotypically little girlish. Okay? But in reality, you didn't necessarily want it because, you know, those were its properties. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may have been just as happy with something that was maybe purple and glittery, or blue and glittery, or, you know, maybe a masculine item or unisex item. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't manufacture it that way and decide that you wanted it, you know, based on your preferences, but just based on, you know, what was all the rage for girls, or, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, just because you got something as a child doesn't mean that it was necessarily exactly what you wanted or would be for the rest of your life. And so that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't deserve, is not more deserving of space in your life than something that you got more recently and you still remember why you wanted it, and it has less age on it, you know what I'm saying? Less wear and tear, less deterioration. So yeah, I mean, I just really wish, you know, people, I mean, well, yeah, it's hard convincing old people because what they're really attached to is you being that age. You know what I'm saying? They're not so much, they don't just want you to be attached to it because it was your first memory or whatever, but because it reminds them of when they were younger. So yeah, this video is getting kind of long, but at least I'm in the space room, and hopefully I'll be able to make more videos here very soon, including an unboxing. So I'll go ahead and post this video.